2 and 5 years probably. And so what do people do in the interim? So we'll be talking about that a little bit. Are there any questions right now? I don't know. I think we have 5 minutes. Yes.
Are there any grant opportunities out there for the state?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So DEQ, Department of Environmental Quality, has they did have $250,000 statewide for to help people with septic repair, and some of that was to go to hooking up to sewer. And I think the legislature beefed that up to $1 million, but that's still statewide. We've got the number on the website for the local. It's like a firm called Craft 3. It's a nonprofit that manages that money. Or you can email me and I can get you that information. But yeah, they'll lend out on a property by property basis. So it's something that once we have a cost analysis and stuff, we might want to talk to them about, and we have talked about kind of doing a sort of like a bulk type of loan for this area. So yeah, but you could call them right now and see if you could qualify for a loan through them. They do low interest loans, and it's the type of thing where you sell your house and you pay the loan back. Yeah, I don't know who was first, so okay, man in red back there. Okay.
Are you including those of us on the lift system in this septic tank classification?
Lift system, you mean pump system like in Avery?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Come on up here.
You opened your mouth.
Yep.
You can equate the lift system, you mean a pump system like on Avery Lane? Or what?
Nottingham Square, the entire subdivision is on lift system.
Nottingham is not included in the area directly, though we are looking at options to pick up in that area eventually. That is to build 8-inch sewers deep enough to turn those, to get those pumps offline. That's one of the biggest reasons for doing the gravity sewers, to turn off the pump station.
Oh, no, we're, okay. I think I saw the woman in blonde, sorry, and right there. And, yeah. Me? No. Oh. Okay, yeah, grants are limited these days. So there used to be a lot of money. Other areas, Portland used a bunch of grants with East Multnomah County, and Eugene has used some, but there aren't those big federal pots of money anymore. We've certainly looked and we'll keep looking, but yeah. Anyone else? I think she was first, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to know how long it's going to be before you get it down the street. I mean, it's right there by us, 91 feet. We have to pay $66,000 to hook up the sewer? You already
no.
asked us to sell of our house.
Are you on Tapadera?
I am on cover.
Okay, I'll talk to you afterwards. Yeah, and you're not in this study area, and I know you're in a different situation, so
Yeah,
yeah.
we're stuck at our house.
Okay. Yes.
Also the area east of the canal on Rosa Street.
Okay, the area east of the canal, I don't have the map up. Thanks.
Yeah, right there.
So she was wondering about the area east of the canal, which is over this way. So yeah, that's an interesting area because that could be served. I might call Skip back up here because I'm not an engineer. So, but that could potentially be served in a different way. So you wouldn't have to bore under the canal to get to the southeast interceptor. So that could likely be a pocket that we look at many years from now, once we get this established. So you've got some time, but that could probably be served by 27. Or yeah, when the DSL properties develop something like that, instead of using the southeast interceptor. Okay, okay. How much time do we have, James?
1 minute.
I'd say go another 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. Okay, yes, okay.
When this discussion there 15, 20 years ago, we were told even back then that the city septic sewer plant could not even handle the road. What's the condition of that?
Might ask an engineer to answer that. So the question was the capacity of the city's wastewater treatment plant and whether we could accommodate it.
Thanks. Sorry I came in late. I was coaching my kids' soccer team. Ryan Ostrom, the city engineer. So we have a project ongoing right now at our treatment plant that gave us enough capacity, depending on growth, for the next 10 to 15 years, but we're already starting the next phase of that study. So we're going to continually, almost never ending, have an upgrade project we have to do with the plant. So we have one right now that's bought us some room. So in reference to the question directly, there was 10 or 15 years ago, we've addressed that now, and we have capacity at the plant, and we'll continue to examine that as we go. Hang on here, because there's no...
Okay, thanks. Okay, okay, back there in the blue.
So, I recently moved into this area, and it's been interesting. I've been getting all this feedback about the price. I mean, this is just, I've only been here 4 months. And so I'm hearing things like, and I know you just said it's going to be 2 to 5 years, but I'm hearing fees like 80,000 over 100,000, which, if I can't, it's probably difficult to forecast what it's going to cost, but are we looking at that? I mean, is that realistic when it comes to that versus where I've heard other people say, no, it's probably 10,000, 20,000. So it's like everything's up in the air when it comes to that.
Yeah, the engineering and infrastructure director, if he were here, Tom Hickman, would say it's anywhere from 15,000 to 150,000. It's just way wide open depending on the circumstance of your property. And hopefully it's going to be much less than that high end, much closer to the lower end. So we're working to get a solution through the advisory committee and through the cost estimate, which is coming out probably in January. We'll have some pretty good numbers on how much the system's going to cost, and then we'll be able to tell you a little bit with more clarity.
So, I haven't come out and said yet whether or not we think we're going to require the hookup to the sewer system. In 2015, I redid my septic system. The city accepted those, the plans and the permits, and the county, allowed the permit. But it sounds like you've been internally talking about this project since at least 2014 on the hookup. And are people that need to update their systems now, that like what's going on with the costs we've already paid. I've spent a lot of money already, and I'm less than 300 feet away from the new sewer, and the city didn't let me wait or circle back on my drain field a little bit or do any type of just any type of customization until I could hook up. So they had to do a whole new system, and now it sounds like I might have to do another system. Are we gonna have to hook up?
Yeah, so that's, I can't tell you for sure yet. What we do know, we ran sort of a report on the number of people that had done improvements in the last 3 years. So your property probably came up in that to get an idea of what people had spent on that. And I can just tell you that we're looking at that as far as part of the financial strategy to give people like you a little bit of a break. I mean, I'm not promising that right now, but that's something, when we go back to the committee's values and really what we want to do from the city perspective to try and make things equitable and fair, that's something that we are looking at. So stay tuned on that. Anyone else?
I'd like to know south of Reed Market, on the other side of the canal, between Ferguson and Reed Market. That particular area, they have not touched the pavement, they haven't touched anything, and there's supposedly sewer there already. Can you confirm that?
Where at exactly? On Reed Market?
Between Reed Market and Ferguson on 27th, south of Reed Market.
Correct, yeah. So we have our southeast interceptor line that worked its way through the Kings Forest area to Reed Market and then shot north. So currently there is no sewer system that extends south of Reed Market down 27th.
Where the junior high school is, there's manhole covers, there's sewer line there.
They have a force main that works its way all the way up 27th and works its way.
Does it work does it work from high desert?
Correct.
North?
It does, it goes north, but it's not sized to handle growth in that area. It was sized to handle the High Desert Middle School there, so.
So is that area that I'm talking about between point A and point B,
Mhm.
Reed Market and Ferguson,
Mhm.
is that in this?
No, it is not. That-
How long do you think that's going to be?
It depends on development. We have a large area of land, which we call the DSL property, that was brought in with the urban growth boundary expansion.
The east side of that?
On the east side, but they'll have to get sewer to 27th, and then it'll have to eventually work its way up to the Reed Market connection. So as growth continues, and as growth happens, and then development occurs, we'll have to kind of build this system as it works its way down toward that expansion area. But there's nothing, there's no capital improvement plan in the books right now, nothing in the 5-year CIP that will extend sewer south of Reed Market down 27th.
Okay, thank you.
However, there's sewer on Ferguson.
Yes, there is.
There's some, it's a very limited system right there, not enough to develop.
So that whole southeast corner from the canal, Reed Market, and, Ferguson and 27th Street, there is no future planning for any type of sewer hookup? Is that what I hear you saying?
Yeah, that's correct. Right now, yeah, I mean, we have a master plan for the city as a whole, but we can't build everything all at once, and right now we're focusing on the interceptor, and then eventually the north interceptor and east interceptor, and plane improvements, and a bunch of other things, and so that area isn't on the priority list right now.
Okay.
How about,
Two more questions?
two more questions?
And then after that, let's put everything to the ski tabs, and then